The global dynamic in 2025 can be summarized with the words burning fucking dumpster fire. If you want to get into the details, every country in the world has some kind of geopolitical tension going on. Every economy is on the brink of collapse, and there's just a constant growing divide between every country that controls the entire economic system of this planet. Now, the outliers in all of these are, the conflicts in the Middle East and Europe, the increased isolationism of countries who say they want to support you, but they don't really know if they want to support you, and so you're just stuck in this entangling web of bullshit. And then the influence of all the technological advances in AI and social media, and all of this is culminating together to where half the time you go on the internet and you don't know if what you're reading is real, you don't know if the person you're talking to is real, and everything is just some disinformation campaign used to change public opinion one way or another. Now, all of these interconnected problems are reshaping the way that every country goes about relations. It's testing our cooperation, it's creating significant risks for global companies, global affairs, and global conflicts. Now, we haven't seen this major storm of bullshit since probably the earliest 20th century, and that was a time period where the easiest way to communicate was a fucking carrier pigeon and traveling by train. So it's been a while since we've had these problems, and the world's a little different now. I mean, back then, if something popped off in the Middle East, you wouldn't hear about it for 3 or 4 weeks, and by the time you did hear about it, you could probably trust what you were reading. There wasn't some multi-billion-dollar company or political party that was trying to influence the way that was being reported to make sure that your opinion is their opinion. Now, I spend more time fact-checking an article that I read to figure out what the hell actually happened than I do when I'm just reading the actual article. It takes me more time to go through the bullshit than to read the actual headline. Now, it seems like every day there's some new war or special military operation popping up in a new corner of the world, and I would say 80% of the time, most Americans couldn't point on a map where Pakistan or Taiwan is, yet it becomes such a dominant talking point amongst our politicians. And overall, it's like, hey, we're going to send a couple $1 billion to this country so that they can completely rebuild their military. And by the way, your taxes are going to skyrocket, your debt's going to continue to grow, and that house you want to buy is still going to cost you $600,000 or $700,000. So the disconnect in our society amongst all of these problems is the government that's making these decisions on these problems forget that most Americans do not give a fuck about a war going on 2,000 miles away. Now, does that mean the severity or significance of that war doesn't matter? No. But the American people are more worried about how they're going to fill up their gas tanks and if they're going to have enough money for little Jimmy Jr. to go down to the school field trip at the museum. We are spoon-fed this idea of America first, but in all honesty, right now, it feels like America last. I'm all for supporting the military spending, government programs, because believe it or not, I don't want to be fucking invaded and have to make my last stand at the Alamo inside of a Donato's pizza shop, but we've got to find a balance. All we hear about anymore are tariffs and erasing the trade deficit. Hell yeah, I'm on board, but wait, every household product is going to increase by 10 to 30%, and your hourly wage is going to stay exactly the same. Now, a lot of people, they wake up at 7 a.m., they go work a 10-hour shift, they get home, they eat dinner, and they may have 1 to 2 hours to spend time with their family before the cycle repeats for 5 days straight. That's why you don't hear people complaining about this. Now, what is the solution? I don't fucking know. All I know is it doesn't take a professionally trained police canine to smell the shit inside of this bag. I can't say, I miss the days when it was better, because in all honesty, I've never seen them. I was in the 3rd grade during the 2008 housing crisis. It crushed my family. We had a couple years to recover, then the pandemic hit. So you're coming up on an entire generation that doesn't know what it means to have a normal economy. Now, I don't know when the last time there was a normal economy, but it's not going anywhere good. To this day, I don't understand how someone can survive on their own making less than $20 an hour. Now, maybe I'm just a privileged prick who sucks ass with money, but damn. Meanwhile, this is all going on, and they're constantly trying to push all these other problems in your face so that you forget about how dog shit your own personal situation is. No matter how bad you are feeling, just realize that you are not alone. It's not even close. That dude who's flaunting his new pair of Nikes and his Gucci coat on Instagram, he probably put that on a credit card and won't be able to pay it off for 2 years. Now, the people that are going on vacation every month, yeah, they're doing the same thing. Just because it looks like everybody around you is balling, they probably aren't. Debt is at an all-time high, with the average American having a revolving balance of $9,000. Now, in most cases, if you're just making the minimum payment on that, that is going to take you years to pay off. Now, I'm all for patriotism. I'm all for supporting the weaker guy in the fight, being the country that steps up and helps everybody out. But I'm more here for making sure that your brothers, your sisters, your neighbor, everybody around you is taken care of. We are only as strong as our weakest link. And right now, half of the country is operating day to day on the verge of cracking. One car repair, one illness, one family death away from being absolutely financially ruined. Now, that is not a good formula for success. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there, listening to my bullshit rant again. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you have a differing opinion or you support mine, leave a comment down below. I'm always for hearing other people's side of the story, because at the end of the day, my opinion's my opinion because of my experiences. So appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.